242.
Okay. This is not right for boxing. This shit keep going on and on and on. But we're gonna touch on that subject when Badu Jack and James DeGale come in here. We're gonna touch on that subject. It's not a problem.
Floyd.
What we need to talk about right now, and I want y'all to give a round of applause to Tony Davis. For 2 months or 3 months, I didn't communicate with Tank at all. No talking. I wanted him to go back to the drawing board where it all started from. I understand business when it's all said and done, and I know what it takes for a fighter to be hungry. Remember what I said before, a lot of times we pamper these fighters. You know, we can give fighters certain things too fast. You know, when fighters come around, I show them a crazy lifestyle. Private jets, Rolls Royce limousines, houses in Miami, houses in New York, houses in LA. Show them too much stuff. Cash money, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. And they be around me, they see millions of dollars. I want him to go back to the drawing board with who he started with in the beginning, his trainer. Then when he got in there for the big dance, this was a test for him. And I told him, the day he signed with me, before he signed with me, this is exactly what I told him. I said, it's all about you having comfort. All I ever want these fighters to do is have comfort. As far as putting them in a nice, comfortable car, where they don't have a car note. Put them in a nice place to live, so they can focus on nothing but training. But sometimes we can fall off track. We can fall off track and go certain places that we don't need to go. So did I show him tough love? Absolutely. But you can, if y'all seen, he make mistakes, but he live and he learn, he's young. You know, he's still a kid. You know, we make mistakes and we live and we learn. It's tough love. I have to show him tough love. But when it's all said and done, nobody was cheering for him harder than me tonight. You know why? Because nobody else in here invested. Nobody else in here believed like me. When I first seen him, I said, you know what? Within 24 months, I can make you a world champion. And we took him to the doghouse. He's seen so many different styles. That's what we do. We test you. We push you. And some days in the doghouse, he kick ass, yeah. But sometimes he had guys push him too. Push him to the limit. And that's what it's about. You know, in the doghouse, what we do? We cut the heat up to 100. We put you in a no-win situation sometimes. But I seen something special. Just no different from me. When I walk in the room and you see my aura, you look at me, you say, he's somebody. He's meant to be a world champion. When you look at me, you say, he's successful. With or without the jury, with or without the suits, he's somebody. When you look at Tank, when he go in the room, it's his aura. We got a strong team. We have a lot of people working behind the scenes that nobody know about. I didn't get in this sport of boxing to promote fighters, to be like Don King. No. I didn't want to be like Bob Arum. No. And I'm not saying Bob Arum or Don King did this, but we all know. A lot of times when these fighters fight, they say the promoter is getting the lion's share. I don't do that. Badu Jack, look at his story. This kid got a story to tell. I'm the promoter that's gonna give kids opportunities when nobody else gives them an opportunity. That's me. I'm that man. Yes, go ahead.
And you started touching.
Hey, Kelly Swanson here. Please, somebody help me. Give me a water, because you know I go hoarse when I go in my zone. Thank you, boss man. Appreciate you. What you say now?
You touched on this, but ringside at your fight, we were wondering if Davis was ready for this moment. How did you know?
His trainer, his team. He asked for this fight. He came to me. I said, look up the fighters. I said, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Things you do is you study my tapes. These are things, you study my tapes when you're by yourself. He comes from a rough background. He loves his family. He comes from a rough background like myself. He got a story to tell. He's hungry. He's going to make mistakes. And I have to be that father figure to tell him, son, you're doing wrong. You know, when I was in the gym and I had Mike Tyson and other legendary champions around, you know, they never gave me advice. You know, and to this day I respect Mike Tyson and all other legendary champions that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. But if you look at a lot of legendary champions, they take shots at me. You know, but then, you know, I speak to my mentor and the guy that helped me. When I wake up every day, I wake up happy because I'm truly blessed to be where I'm at. I was able to make that man a multi-millionaire. I was able to make Badu Jack multi-millionaire. I turn people into, I turn fighters and people that's around me into multi-millionaires. This is what I do. And a real boss put his team on their feet. This is a stepping stone for him. There's many more world titles to come. And I think that we should, I mean, it's crazy that 16-0, 15 knockouts, and you know what I said? It's time for us to test you. It's time for us to test you. And I'm not going to hold your hand on this journey. I'm going to let you go out there and see what it is. He got bumps and bruises. It comes with the territory. But at the end of the day, we produce. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but if I tell a fighter, I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I do what I say I'm going to do. I'm not going to blow smoke up everybody's ass and tell them, oh, you're going to get 100,000 and you're only going to get 40,000. Or you're going to get 40,000 and you only get 10,000. We don't do that. We give fighters a fair shake at Mayweather Promotion. We believe in a talent getting the lion's share. Are we going to make money? Absolutely, but we're not going to be crooks. That's what we're not going to be. And they don't like that I got involved in this sport to open up everybody's eyes. And even in the sport of boxing, this is a fucking dirty business. This is a dirty business. And I'm involved in the sport along with Leonard Ellaby and Stephen Espinoza. I communicate with them and Al Hammond so we can clean up this sport. It's about cleaning up this sport. Should Canelo, right now, he's not my fighter, but should Canelo be fighting Chavez? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's so crazy. When we talk about loyalty in the sport of boxing, when we talk about loyalty, when you look at Canelo, did Stephen Espinoza and the Showtime team let this, and myself, we helped build this guy up. He was fighting on my undercard. He was the co-main. We helped build this guy up. And you know what Oscar De La Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar De La Hoya do? I'm sorry, Mr. Disloyal Oscar De La Hoya do? He take him right over to HBO and cut a deal with HBO. And when he cut the deal, he got money, but I bet Canelo didn't see none. But these are the things that people don't know about in the sport of boxing. Because Al Hammond was a smart, shrewd businessman. They want to sue him because he was smart. You know, all we believe, we work smarter, not harder. And I'm gonna make sure he's just became world champion. I'm gonna protect my champion. I'm gonna protect my champion. And when I'm ready for him to go out there and it's worth it, if it's not worth it, we're not gonna do it. It has to be worth it. We're gonna fight some bouts. There's no rush. He's still a kid. Just like myself. And so I'm going to stand behind my fighters. And I genuinely, I love my fighters more than the sport. Because I care about the well-being of a fighter. Because I was a fighter my fucking self. I was a fighter myself, and I was on their side. When you, like I said, what I touched on earlier is what nobody understands about the things that we go through, the fighters. when you got a family member, you know, you got people that say they really care about your well-being, right? They really care about your well-being. You know, I didn't know nothing about Nielsen ratings. A lot of things I didn't know. You know, when I didn't know nothing about contracts at all, or nothing. I was a teenage kid. They took me to a company, and they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're fucking doing. What they do is they put a check, a 6-figure check right there, and a contract, and the whole time they already know what you're gonna do. If you a kid that come from poverty, and you don't come from nothing, when you see the 100,000, to you that's 100 million. So I'm looking at that check like, okay, I don't care nothing about it. Where do I sign that? But who took me in that office without telling me, you need to take this to a lawyer? No different. We don't hold fighters in a chokehold. But if I feel like we invest, I feel like we at least should get our investment back. We should at least break even. Who the fuck want to lose when they investing? Not me. So what you got to say, El? You want to go over and talk to the people? Well, let me introduce the new IBF champion of the world. So he can come up here and talk to you all. Because only thing I do, I speak from the heart. I don't care if you don't like it, because you know y'all gonna go home and live your life the way y'all want to live your life, and I'm gonna go home and live my life the way I want to live my life. And like I said before, when it's all said and done, I know who genuinely love me, who care about me. You know, the thing is this: every time, like at the end of the day, he was a showman tonight. But I'm gonna let him come up here. He gonna talk, and it was born. He was a showman. That's what the game was about. It's about give and take. It's not really about taking opponents, but it's about giving the people what they want to see. This is a business. It's about entertainment. And when we talking about entertainment, we knew tonight was going to be a good night. And tonight wasn't a good night, it was a great night of boxing. And that's what Mayweather Promotions are here to give you, a great night of boxing. So I'm going to let my champion come up here and talk. I'm still going to have Badu's champion. We really supposed to have both of the belts, but we still going to give him a bonus. And we're going to give my young champion right here a bonus too, because that's what we do over here. We appreciate our fighters. We love our fighters. Gervonta Tank Davis, the new IBF 130-pound world champion.
How are you doing?
Great. I just want to thank my team, my hometown for coming out. My promotion, Floyd Mayweather, Leonard, our management, Al Heyman, and just believing in me. There was a lot of people going against us, saying I lack in experience, and I showed tonight. I'm a dog, and I will continue to be a dog. And, I'm going to continue to listen to my team, and we're going to take over boxing. Thank y'all.
I know y'all got questions for him, so I'm going to let the questions roll.
Floyd.
Chris Garner here from last call. We spoke to you last week, and you laid it out. You said you're going to take on deep water and drown. Were you surprised that he basically played into your hands? He wanted to stand it back, give him the jab, and try to knock you out early on?
I think he was trying to press me out, to see can I go into deep water. And we showed him what sharks do.
Davis, congratulations. Floyd, congratulations to you guys too.
Yeah.
Right over there. Question, amazing fight, exciting crowd. When you stepped on the ropes and you realized that you knocked them out, tell us what were you feeling? What was the feeling going through you?
Like I said, I have anger in me that only, get to show when, when I'm in the ring. I can't use it outside the ring. The emotion in me, I show no emotion in training camp leading up to this fight, and I didn't cry, just winning that world champion, and my team just believing in me, and me getting the job done.
Gervonta, congratulations on your fight.
Thank you.
Commander was already your beacon. Were you surprised that he lasted as long as he did, given the number of power shots you hit him with throughout the fight?
He's a champion, you know, a tough champion, so I knew he would last.
Tank, how you doing?
And,
Xavier Porter, BrooklynFights.com. First, I want to say congratulations to you, Floyd, on Mayweather promotion team, as well as
You
the
gotta say
coach.
Showtime too, because
Excuse me, pardon me, Showtime, my
Okay.
bad, my bad. You know, you've been through a lot. You know, like we talked before, Baltimore has a lot of losses. How important, how does it feel that you bring the belt back to Baltimore? Matter of fact, there's a belt here.
Well, you know, let me kind of touch on that. I know everybody don't know how the boxing game works. So I'm the one that's going to enlighten you all on how the fight works. I mean, how the boxing game works. When you become world champion, when you win the belt, right? When the champion has the belt, in the ring, they give the belt, you know, to the guy who wins the belt. Like we give the belt to Tank inside the ring. And he holds it up for everybody. He walked back into the dressing room with the belt, and then he has to return the belt. He has to return the belt to his opponent, and then because you keep your belt forever, it's like a trophy. You keep that forever, and then within weeks, they'll send you a belt, and then you'll have a belt forever. So that's how it works in a fight game. Come on back, Tank, so you can talk to people. I'm always talking. Go ahead.
So how does it feel to, bring the belt back and bring this one back to Baltimore?
it felt great, you know, being through what we've been through, you know, just, again, my team, you know, showing that hard work pays off, you know, showing that, you know, we accomplished goals, you know, and again, a lot of people went against us, and, you know, I believe in my, you know, my management, my promoter, you know, my coaches, you know, so we stuck to the game plan, we did what we did.
Darrell Johnson, New York Beacon. The man to your right was glowing up here talking about you. Was excited ringside seeing you dominate. How does that feel to make TBE proud?
It felt great, you know. Once again, we grew up on Floyd Mayweather, you know, just him being there, you know, showing me the steps of the way right there. You know, I was listening to him more because he'd been in my shoes before, you know, so it felt good.
Gervonta, Pedraza had some moments in the fight, particularly in the 5th round, where he started to really kind of unload on you. I don't know if you were setting him up for something, but at what point in the fight did you know you had him?
I know I had him in about like the 4th round. You know, when he was catching me in the 5th and 6th, I was letting him, you know, beating him in, you know, and then I took advantage.
Question. First, I want to say congratulations to Leonard and Floyd. Been having cards here for a few years, and I think this one did really well. 10,000 plus. I want to ask you guys if you were happy with it. Buzz was great in the building. The Aleem fight was really good. The women were good. Davis was great. The main event was really good. I just want to say congratulations. I saw you guys working hard all week. And I think it was a really great showing, and that's good for the sport because the sport needs really great showings and filling up buildings. So congratulations on the hard work, and I want to, you know, hear from Leonard and then Floyd. Maybe, you know, are you guys happy with this?
We're very happy. First off, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Can't say we're very, very pleased with the turnout. I'd like to give a special shout out to my team. They bust their ass.